Hello and welcome to Insurance Agents Talk Shop. I'm your host, Doug Coombs, Chief Marketing Officer at SIAA. Today's episode is Applied Systems has acquired EZLynx. What are the implications? I'd like to introduce my guests, Taylor Rhodes, Chief Executive Officer at Applied Systems, and Nog Rao, CEO and founder of EZLynx. Gentlemen, welcome to Insurance Agents Talk Shop.
Thanks for having us, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
So first, before we get into the fact that our focus today, is self-evident because we'll discuss the acquisition of Applied Systems acquisition of EZLynx, but I know that the definitive agreement was signed on January 14th. Has the deal actually closed yet?
No, it hasn't yet. It's been through a normal review process, which we have now successfully navigated through, and we expect the deal to close within the next couple of weeks here.
Very good. Very good. So that's still forthcoming. So I'd like to start off, if possible, by talking about motivation. And Taylor, if you would start off by telling us what motivated Applied Systems to acquire EZLynx. And as you respond, I'd appreciate it if you could identify any particular competitive advantages that stood out about EZLynx that made your decision easier. And by that, I mean something EZLynx does particularly well that you thought, yeah, I'd like some of that.
Well, that's an easy one for me to answer. I enjoy, being able to talk about what made us admire EZLynx from the perspective of the company and the people. And I think it comes down to a couple of key elements. So as you know, Doug, Applied is a 36-year-old software company, a leader in the space for agency management systems and digital connectivity solutions. But also, frankly, we tend to serve brokers upmarket that are medium and large brokers that focus a lot on commercial lines business or are composite, meaning they have commercial lines, personal, and maybe even employee benefits. And our product set is really geared toward those medium and larger size brokers. And there's a whole nother part of the world out there that are fast growing millennial led agencies out there that want to be born in the cloud. They want an all-in-one platform solution. They want a partner who can not just build an agency management system for them, but add value in things like sales and marketing and retention of clients, et cetera. And so the first thing we notice is that a lot of our smaller customers and smaller prospects love EZLynx. And when I say smaller, that doesn't mean tiny. That can be, a 25, 30, 40 person agency. They love EZLynx because EZLynx has created a great product that fits the needs for those smaller, faster growing millennial-led agencies. They've built it in the cloud. They've made it mobile first. And so there's this whole segment of the agency market out there that just is a better fit for what EZLynx built over time. And then the second big element of it is, Nog and his team are the leaders in personal lines rating. And they have the leading product set and rating catalog for personal lines business. And we think that that's a great fit for one of our strategic themes, which is digital connectivity. And when we integrate their rating capability with Epic, which is our agency management system, we're going to create access to far more personal lines business for far more agents built right into their daily workflows. And, that's a big compliment to us. So Nog's team, great entrepreneurs, really walk in the brokers and agents' shoes and understand their needs. They serve a different segment of the market than we do for agency management systems, and they're the leader in rating. And so we love those things. And then a couple of other quick tidbits, and then I'd love to get Nog's opinion on this. But, think about SIAA, the important relationship that EZLynx has built with you and your member agencies over time. That's a strength zone that Applied has not historically played in. And so when we can combine forces with EZLynx and come to work with you, Doug, and your team, you represent many different agencies who have different varying needs. And so this gives us a broader portfolio of choice to work with large market access providers like you.
Yeah, that certainly does make a lot of sense. Nog, did you want to comment on that at this point?
Sure. I think some of the same reasons that Taylor said. Look, I've been doing this for almost 18 years now, and I think I was ready for a change too. In addition to everything that Taylor said, I just felt like we've done whatever we wanted to do with the agency size and the segment that we were playing in, and we were somewhat ready for a bigger playground, especially my team. As you go up the value chain of agents, it gets harder. to sell the products because it's a much bigger change and more impactful change, and they become resistant to change. And we started seeing some of that with larger agencies, right? So I think this acquisition kind of gives us a bigger playground to play in. We are known for technology and innovation, so we want to continue that as much as possible and take it up market as much as possible. And what Taylor said is right. When we put the products from both companies side by side, there's very little overlap. Even management system where we have some overlap. We were at the bottom 50% of the market. They're in the top 50% of the market, and they have nothing going on in the map area, right? Market access providers that you guys are in, and we complement very nicely there. In general, we complemented even I was surprised what a good fit it was. So it was kind of a no-brainer. It was a long Simon dance that we did. We started talking 6-7 months ago, and I'm glad it's kind of coming to an end. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to kind of look at the next chapter.
And it's funny because what you did is you just pretty much took away or addressed my next question to you, which was really talking about what it is that motivated you to come to this point. And I understand what you're saying as you cover that. And so my next question is that I've listened to both of you on a number of forums since the announcement of the acquisition. And this is my take on it. It seems that you deem the EZLynx Radar platform as superior, while Applied's management system as superior. And you can tell me if I'm wrong on that, than reading it that way. But I have to wonder, did you both plan it that way? Meaning, did each of your companies see your better system as your opportunity originally in the marketplace? And Taylor, that may be a little tougher for you because you've been with Applied for 18 months, but I'm still wondering because it's such a complementary offering of products, it seems, between the two of you. I just, trying to get a sense for that.
Yeah, I'll go first, and I know Nog will certainly want to chime in on this one. I wouldn't say that we looked at it as we have a superior management system. We have different management systems, and I think that's a really important thing for folks to understand. As I tried to lay out, Doug, in your first question, the EZLynx management system serves a very different agency profile with different needs. It does different things, and so we view the complementariness not only as, hey, we've got a great management system and they've got rating. We view it as complementary in terms of market segments served with management systems and what we call extended solutions around that. But certainly the rating element for us was very complementary. We have a rating capability. It's much earlier stage than Nog's, who first started building his, I think, in 2003. And so there's a perfect complementariness in let's take the leading rating capability in EZLynx and use that as the combined company's rating capability. But I want to stress the point, different agency management systems for different segments of the market that provide different needs, and that's the way I looked at the acquisition.
Gotcha. And Nog, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, pretty much, I agree with what Taylor is saying. And one of the other things that they didn't have on the rating side is the what we call the fast-growing coding as a service market. These are online agencies, mostly investor-funded agencies. There are several names that come to my mind, but these are Silicon Valley-based companies that sell directly to the consumers many times. And we had a very robust technology for that, and we do millions of transactions a month with them. That's a complementary space too. Even though there was a little bit of overlap in rating, once again, we were very complementary. We were strong, and map, I've already highlighted the map part, right? I mean, map rating is very different from retail agency rating, as you know, Doug. It's not the same because an agent can get one or two carriers from map, whereas they have their own other contracts with other carriers. So we had to kind of handle it differently, how we display results and make sure the privacy is respected and things like that. So there is just overall, if you go from top to down, there was just total, complementariness, like you said, all products, markets and products. Good fit. I really like the fit a lot.
Very good. Okay. So, the next thing I'd like to move into is the fact that, Taylor, I recognize that you've been CEO at Applied for a limited time, about 18 months, if I understand it correctly. And of course, most people in the independent insurance agency or insurance agency channel in general, at least know of Nog, because obviously EZLynx has been, he founded it and it's been here for years. So with knowing that you've only been at Applied, and I don't mean to diminish the term, but 18 months, I was wondering if you could share a little bit about your background, and then how you kind of get into that whole process of engaging with EZLynx to arrive at the point where you put this deal together.
Yeah, absolutely, Doug. So it's 21 months now, Doug. So now I know everything. No, it's a true statement to say I'm the newbie to insurance, and my background, it comes much more from technology than it does from insurance. I'll go back in time just a little bit. Just at the start of my career, I graduated from college and went into the Marine Corps, served in the Marine Corps for 5 years. Learned a lot about leadership and management and people and you name it in the Marine Corps. But it was time to go learn how to read and write. So I went back to school and I got a master's in business administration. And I went to school for my MBA at Chapel Hill in North Carolina. And as you know, that sits right on the corner of the research triangle. And back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot going on there about early, internet, Linux-based web applications being built. And so I got a chance to start to tinker with technology while I was in school and just kind of got the tech bug and decided that I wanted to make my career in technology. And so I went first to work for a very large technology company called EDS, Electronic Data Systems, which was bought by HP. I spent, my first years cutting my corporate teeth there, working in airline systems. So, doing a lot of work around, moving the old airline systems from pre-internet onto the internet, helping people learn how to sell online, how to, what we used to say, you have to be able to sell tickets, print boarding passes, and push airplanes. And if those things don't happen because a critical system goes down, you really screw up the travel system in the U.S. So talk about a high pressure, environment to cut your teeth in. But it was a great learning experience for me. And what I learned from that was I really enjoyed applying technology to business, but I didn't want to work for a giant company. I got a little frustrated after 6 or 7 years working at a big company. So I jumped all the way down range, moved to San Antonio, Texas, and joined what was a small company at the time called Rackspace, which was one of the early cloud computing companies. And just had a wonderful opportunity there over almost 10 and a half, 11 years to do everything there. I started out in operations, getting woken up on second and third shift every night by angry customers who were down, to helping build out our enterprise business. I moved overseas and built our international business, and ultimately got the chance to become the CEO of that company. And we went public, and then we went private, and did everything in between. And it was just a wonderful experience because Rackspace was known for two things. One, an amazing customer-centric culture. And the second was technology innovation. We truly invented some of the first cloud computing platforms and grew a very large business competing with Amazon Web Services in the early days. So that was awesome. But then it was time to move on and do something else. And I wanted to stay with the technology theme, but I went into the real estate facilities management vertical industry. And you say, what? Well, think about how many buildings there are in the world, and everything in those buildings breaks and needs to be fixed or serviced. And it's a horribly untransparent industry. And so we built a technology platform that helped really drive transparency into pricing and work, within that industry, and helped create really technology enablement for an industry that was a digital laggard. And that was a new experience. And I take away from that is, applying technology smartly to a vertical industry can really help change the economics in that industry, the customer experiences in that industry, the ability to access data and analytics and insights. And it really can help transform business models in an industry that hasn't had the opportunity to digitize yet. Mm. And then you think fast forward to insurance. Well, insurance historically, no offense to all of us, has been a digital laggard. Yep. And it's under leveraged to the opportunity that technology has to create some of those same effects I just talked about in the real estate facilities management space. And so when the applied opportunity came along, I think, wow, here's this ubiquitous industry, right? Everybody has to have insurance. And yet, the experience that most people have with insurance is less than pleasant. Brokers and agents have done well over time, but the point of reference for what their customers expect from them is changing to be much more of an online omni-channel experience. And so, there's a lot of pressure to change in the insurance industry. There's a lot of technology sort of flooding this industry and creating a lot of opportunity, but confusion. And I just saw it as a place where my background and experience could help. And I thought Applied was a great platform, a great franchise that has been built over time from which to really help drive the advantages that technology and digital connectivity can bring to the independent agent and broker and the carriers themselves. So here I am, and that's my mission. I'm excited about it.
That's excellent. And first of all, let me just say thank you for your service.
Thank you, Doug.
Sure, and it's truly, I mean it when I say it. And the other thing is, technology and your recognition, your experience now, et cetera, related to it. Technology is something that we've been beating a drum about for quite some time. Understanding that it is something that insurance agents across the land need to be adopting. But that you made a really good point, and to my way of thinking, when you made the comment that the technology is kind of flooding in, but it makes it very confusing.
Yeah,
and so whatever can be done through partnerships, if you will, with companies like Applied Systems going forward on the behalf of insurance agents, I think is going to be quite helpful in helping them sort through the pros and cons of different technologies. So that's a good stuff. That's some good points to make. So let me kind of flow that along a little bit, if I might, at this point then, because I've heard you reference the omni-channel approach that's coming our way. And I was wondering if you might talk about that a bit, because I think it relates to what you were just talking about in terms of how that trail of technology is coming along.
Yep.
And so what does that mean to insurance agents? And then I'm hoping you might talk a little bit about how the acquisition kind of fits into that whole process.
Yeah, well, Nog knows this one much better than I do. I'll give you my point of view, but then let's bring Nog into this one too, because
sure.
With EZLynx 5, right, his whole point was to make it easier and mobile first, et cetera. But look, I think that the up to recently, most agency management system and most insurtech solutions have focused on solving problems in the four walls of the agency itself, right? Creating workflows and productivity and automation and analytics for things that happen inside the four walls. But if you step back, on the one hand, on the outside those four walls, digital connectivity to your customers, to your insureds, is critical. And then on the other side, digital connectivity to your carriers is also critical. I call digital connectivity in this industry the lifeblood of innovation. Where you have it, you can see seamless, delightful, simple, online, 24/7 available ways to work, whether those are digital complemented with phone calls or in-person visits. But where you don't have digital connectivity, you get broken offline, frustrating processes. I'm going to email you a set of PDFs and you're going to print those out and fill in some things. And then you got to scan it and send it back to me. And then I'm going to tell you missed some data. So I'm going to send it back to you and print it. Umpteen back and forth emails and phone calls, et cetera. And those are very frustrating for end user insurance customers, but also, frankly, very frustrating for agents and brokers when they deal with their carriers who put them through the same thing. And so when I talk about omni-channel, I'm talking about leveraging the power of digital connectivity, mobile-first technologies. Almost everybody working in an agency today or who is a customer of an agency carries an iPhone or an Android phone around and is so used to, outside of the insurance agency, having these delightful experiences, whether those are consumer apps they use or business apps they use in other industries like banking. And then they come back into insurance and they say, why am I forced to go through this broken offline, got to call you sometime type experience? And so the point of reference is changing for what people expect. And that's raising the pressure, raising the bar. I'll give you a good example here. Indio is an acquisition that Applied made just a little bit over a year ago. And the reason we made it, it's a classic example of an insurance agent being able to extend a simple online TurboTax-like experience to their end insured at the time of commercial lines application or renewal. Indio is a workflow tool that lets you say, here, it's time for your renewal. I already have all of this information from you from last time, so I'm not going to ask for it all from you again. By the way, it's a smart form generator, so it deduplicates all the various carrier forms, asks you one set of questions, and in a very simple way allows the agent to collect pristine risk data which is now structured data and usable for reporting down the road and analytics, et cetera. And it really creates productivity and simplicity for the agent, but it creates a lot of customer stickiness and differentiates them for their customers. So that's a perfect example of what I mean by an omni-channel experience. It's cloud-based, it's online, it's simple, it's great workflow for both the agent as well as for the insured. And then it allows you to digitally submit that information directly to the carrier, which then starts the productivity beat on the other side between the broker and the carrier. So that's a great example of what I mean by omni-channel. And I think the stakes are only getting higher for brokers and agents to catch up and create those delightful experiences for their insured. But Nog, you guys have been working on things in EZLynx for a long time that are about the same themes. So maybe talk a little bit about your points of view here.
So before we do that, just one quick question, if I might, to follow up, Taylor, is that on that Indio software or company purchase, that capability that you just described, is that something that you would see integrating the technology into your current systems, or is that something that will be kind of like a sub-menu option going forward?
Yeah, it will. Look, it's integrated. So what we've done now is we have done the first level of integration with Epic, which is our AMS.
Yep.
So when you're working in Indio today, you can have a fairly seamless experience, and that will get more seamless and embedded in Epic as we go forward. So thinking about the user experience, if you're an Epic customer, an Epic agency, and you've purchased Indio, we want you to have a nice, easy place to work when you're doing your commercial lines work, and we want that to be fully integrated with your AMS, so there's no double keying, et cetera. And so that's the vision for Indio, and we're well along that path now. And vis-a-vis how this theme might fit with the acquisition of EZLynx, I'll let Nog talk about it. But we think there's also an opportunity to potentially extend Indio and connect it into the EZLynx space as well. But Nog, I don't know if you want to join in here.
Yeah, please.
I agree with Taylor on that. I think the wave of mobile platform and cloud-based platform is finally catching up with our industry. I think we recognized that 3 years ago, and Taylor kind of hinted at that. We came up with a new platform called EZLynx 5. Doug, you might know that. We rolled out the new platform to your agencies.
Yep.
So the three core focus areas there was to make it fully mobile enabled for the first time in EZLynx 5, which has rating in it. You can completely quote using your smartphone. I'm so excited because I wanted this 10 years ago. Finally, we were able to do it. You can do the whole quote just like you would do on a desktop. There's no change in experience at all. And cloud-based, because one of the things about millennials is that they want to be able to work anywhere. They don't want to tie themselves to a physical computer or a desktop computer or remote connections or something like that, right? And the other thing that they really crave is exchange of information, free flow of information between various vendors. That's a new trend. I think what Apple did, what Android did, and all the other companies have did, Salesforce have done, has kind of defined the standard for that, right? Through marketplace and app marketplace and things like that. That's also very important. So we did focus on 3 areas, right, to build that EZLynx 5. It's been completely rolled out now, and we're going to continue to go down that path. And kind of mobile enable the rest of the product and make it truly cloud-based. As you know, EZLynx is almost 18 years old, architecture 15, 16 years old. And we are operating in what we call a hybrid cloud. So it is a cloud that we maintain, but instead we want to go into public cloud. So some of the accessibility and access to services and things like that will become easier, and scalability will become much easier, right, by doing that. Now, as far as Indio, one of the focus areas for us has been our client center product. Our client center is what our customers will host on their website to service their clients, policyholders, right? That includes making policy changes, requesting changes, paying bills, and requesting records and things like that, right? So our plan is to see if we can integrate into that because Indio is a fantastic product. I was for the first time I saw the product last week, and the first thing I did was to send an email to Taylor saying what a great acquisition it was, because we've been wanting to build something like that for a long time. It really makes commercial very easy. It reminds me of the early days of personalized rating when we built the product, but except it's for commercial rating, right? So we want to kind of integrate that and make that part of our Client Center product. So, or something like Client Center. We still are sorting through a lot of things internally between the two companies. But the bottom line is we want to make the policyholder in control, which is what the world wants today. That's what the consumers want. They want to be able to control everything on their own, and they want to get help when they want to in the channel they want to, right? So that's kind of the focus area. I don't think that's going to stop from our end. We'll continue to push those boundaries. So
I would argue that that it's been that way for a long time, meaning the consumer wants what the consumer wants, and the technology is finally allowing all of us as business people to kind of catch up to that approach. But I'm going to skip over a little bit of what you might have anticipated at this point, just giving an eye to the time, and I'm wondering if I could just ask about whether or not there will be immediate implications to clients of EZLynx or Applied Systems as a result of the acquisition, and such as I'm wondering, are there commitments to service levels for clients of both your organizations now and then in the long term?
I'll take lead on that. Yes. So Applied has a 24/7, obviously, service and support capability that we're very proud of. Our customer satisfaction scores are very strong. And we liked the fact that at EZLynx, when we did our research, they've got very high NPS scores. Their customer loyalty is very high. And it's on the back of, again, the quality of the products they build, but also the people who take care of them when they need help. So, we're not in the business of, spending money to acquire EZLynx and then screwing it up by disappointing the customers. And so we will have and have committed to customers of both companies that they will experience no interruption to their service, to their support, the people they work with, et cetera. And look, that's a really important part of getting this right. You're a fool if you try to bring something in and either lose the important people that take care of customers, or try to save a buck by cutting some cost and then disappointing your customers. So we've been very clear that there is no immediate change over time. As Nog mentioned, because the deal hasn't closed yet, we've been prohibited from getting into a certain amount of detail together. But we will work on a post-merger integration plan that allows us to keep the customer at the forefront. Both of our organization are very customer-centric, and initially we've made commitments that if you feel any change whatsoever, you know who to call and make sure you let us know. But we feel pretty comfortable that our customers will find this to be a pretty seamless change.
So, okay, and that's good to hear. What I'm wondering, I'm kind of looking at some other thoughts I've had here in terms of, as you mentioned, there are going to be changes. Things, that's the nature of acquisitions. But do you have a plan in place in terms of communicating changes or system enhancements or changes as you go along to your clients?
Absolutely. I think I'll let Nog talk about how they communicate to their customers, because I've actually really enjoyed and admired, the different forums they create for their customers. But, we are a very communicative company as well. And, we tend to, on a very regular basis, communicate to our customers about changes that are coming. For instance, in Epic 2021.1, we have a customer success program that, comes alongside customers and helps them understand how to use our products and get, best practice value out of those products. So I would say, both companies, I feel very comfortable that we've got experience with transparent and frequent communications with our customers. And I wouldn't see any change to that other than potential positive change, because whenever you join forces with a new team, you get a chance to compare who does what and pick up new ideas and best practices that you then transfer to the other company. So that's my point of view on it. And Nog, why don't you talk a little bit about, your thoughts on how you communicate with your customers and commitments to them?
Yeah, we are more millennial focused. So we have a monthly EZLynx letter that talks about all the various things that we're doing. That's our primary means of communicating with our customers, and it comes along with a live session, right? Video session, live session that is done by our internal staff that complements the EZLynx articles and talks about brings product managers or some VP level people to come and comment on the article. So that's kind of generally how we've communicated. We also have extensive communication on Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media websites, Twitter. So we kind of do more the millennial focused communication in general.
I will comment from a partner perspective, from in terms of SIA and EZLynx, that those live ongoing sessions that EZLynx has utilized for quite some time now. We make those available and share that information, make those available to our members, share that information with our members, and we also obtain the recordings of those and allow our members to go into our members web portal whenever it's convenient for them. I mean, that's available to our members 24/7. So that's been helpful. And it's been a nice approach. And I just wanted to comment on that since Nog was referencing it.
Thanks, Sai.
Yeah, sure. And so I just wanted to now ask the question of, as we go forward, and I realize the deal's not yet consummated, but that it will be in a couple of weeks. Do you ever anticipate, and I guess it's Taylor, this is more to you, that the acquisition results in bringing the systems together? I know you've stated that they have been complementary, that they are complementary systems, and that they'll work well together going forward. But do you ever envision a point in time when the two come together in terms of systems, and they're kind of serving all clients from A to Z, or is that just too far-fetched?
Well, look, I would say never is a big word, but I can tell you we have no concept at this point in time that we would be saying, hey, let's merge and have a single agency management system. As you know, agency management systems are big, complex beasts. They're very complex pieces of software. They take years to build. They have a lot of capability within them. And also, frankly, if customers have to migrate off of an agency management system to another one, that's a heavy piece of work and a burden on the agency itself as well. And so our point of view now is that we will get the deal closed. We'll get into more detail around the various products, but we intend to have a 2 agency management system strategy that serve different elements of the market with different needs. There will be differences by design in the products and what they do to meet the needs of those different market segments. But I would say I feel very comfortable. You don't ask me about 10 years from now, but I feel very comfortable for the foreseeable future, meaning years, that we will have a 2 AMS strategy because, again, they do different things and serve different needs.
Sure. And I appreciate you commenting on it. So I have an eye to the clock, and I'm just wondering that, this has been a full discussion, and I realize that we could go on. But what I'm wondering is that, do either of you have anything you'd like to say to our listeners? And bear in mind that although this podcast is sponsored by SIAA, we do share it with all. It's very public across the country. So do you have anything you'd like to say to the listeners regarding the acquisition or the combined company, or even the future of technology in the insurance agency channel, the independent channel?
Nog, do you want to go first?
Sure. First of all, I do want to thank SIA for being a great customer. You guys have been a great, right from early on. You guys got on the platform, if I remember, very early 2005. That was very early days, and you've been a great supporter. And I want to thank you guys for all that. It's just been a fantastic relationship. I've enjoyed talking to you, Matt, and everybody else.
Thank you.
I couldn't have asked for a better partner than you guys.
Thanks.
My one comment about agencies in general is that you cannot avoid technology anymore, right? I mean, the technology is a given. Most of the problems, we are in a knowledge industry. We handle data and knowledge for the most part. It's very important for agents to adopt technology very quickly. Most of their problems can be solved through technology. And also, it's important for agents to know that technology is not an investment. It's not an expense, but it's an investment. You cannot look at it as like, oh, I'm spending so much money, right? It's not, because you need to look at how much value you're going to get by spending. If they don't think like that, it's going to be very difficult for them to solve some of the basic problems a lot of the agencies are dealing with on a daily basis.
And that is good information. Taylor, how about you?
Yeah, I would just say a couple things. I couldn't agree more with Nog on the notion that, I always think any company you're in today better be a technology company that specializes in X, because if you're not a technology company and leveraging technology well, somebody else will. And the stakes are just changing for what your customers want and need, for the productivity requirements that technology can deliver to make you more competitive, for the ability to structure and use data to create insights. And so I always tell people, look, don't look at technology as a project that you have to do. Look at it as an investment that you have to manage to get a return from. And those are two very different mentalities. And look, technology has found the insurance space. If you just look at the number of dollars being invested from venture capital and private equity and insurtech deals over the past several years, you look at the consolidation that is happening in the broker space, so the bigger getting bigger. And as they get bigger, they're bringing in people from outside the world who specialize in technology to create scale and standardize outcomes and consistent agent and customer experiences. And so I think the future is exciting for the insurance agency, the independent agency, and the carriers. But you have to really take an investment mindset and manage your investment in technology well to get your return. Our hope with this combination is that we bring more choice of technology options to the market, that we are able to create more digital connectivity together because we represent far more agencies together than we do separately, and leveraging digital connectivity like rating capabilities and digital submissions for commercial lines work. These are real productivity drivers for the independent agents. And also, frankly, they're good for the carriers as well. And they strengthen the partnership of the distribution ecosystem. So together, we hope that we'll be able to bring more technology choice, more digital connectivity solutions, more productivity, more opportunities for agents to get simpler to do business with their end insured. And that's our passion. And Nog and I share that passion together. I love Nog's team because they're a bunch of entrepreneurs who are very dissatisfied with the way insurance works today. And they've been on a mission to make it better. And as a 21-monther into the industry, I'm dissatisfied with how insurance works today. And I want to help make it better. And so I feel like we're joining up with a bunch of like-minded people here. And now we've just got a bigger combined, set of scale and brains to go attack these problems and build valuable solutions for people. So I'm pretty fired up about it.
Okay. Well, that is well said and aptly timed because we are in fact running out of time. So I'd like to thank you both for joining me today and sharing with our listeners your companies and systems impact so many insurance agencies today. And I think from your words, you both realize that, and obviously from your decision here to move forward together. So thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me today. And just so everyone remembers, our guests have been Taylor Rhodes, Chief Executive Officer of Applied Systems, and Nog Rao, CEO and founder of EZLynx. And as always, thanks to our listeners for tuning in to this episode of Insurance Agents Talk Shop. I'm Doug Coombs, Chief Marketing Officer at SIAA, and I hope you'll join us next time. To learn more about SIAA, the largest alliance of independent insurance agencies in the U.S., please visit SIAA.com. And of course, you realize that if you'd like to learn more about Taylor or Nog or their relevant companies, you can visit them at appliedsystems.com or EZLynx.com. Thank you again, both. Have a great one.